Hi chat. Welcome in everyone. Hello JK. Hello Cosmic. Okay. Coffee. So I've been back to being tired all the time lately. And OBS is back to fucking up again. And OBS is still not enjoying life, and my network is still not enjoying life, and yeah. Weird deliberate spikes in my bitrate. Like straight. That's not going to tell me anything there either, is it? Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Cheers. They're doing pumpkin pizza tonight. It means we need pumpkin. Means we're going to have to murder a baby baby pumpkin. If we want pumpkin pizza, we can't have baby pumpkin anymore. So which is it, chat? Do we have pumpkin pizza? Or do we keep the baby pumpkin? Awkward silence. You making me make this choice? Yeah, I am lagged. I don't know how to deal with this for sure, chat. Depending on where I look, Twitch says I'm stable or unstable. My OBS says I'm losing packets. Not much I can do about that. It's the internet. And, other things I don't care to talk about. Oh well. Now we got most of the insides out of the baby. Let's get our oven kicked on. I actually think I want to keep that just that thickness, so I'm actually going to peel this. I normally don't peel them, that's why I cut it in half before I peeled it. But I think I'm actually going to. Hello. Nice to know. I didn't know I was that old. I mean, I'm old, but don't get me wrong, but that old? Oil and salt on our pumpkin. What got stuck in out of mud? I didn't catch anything getting... Hey, Penta. I didn't see it in... I don't have all of the mod stuff in front of me. And... my bots don't seem to like to hang out as much as they used to. It didn't even put it in my automod queue. I don't know. Are you sure you typed that in my chat, Head of Broccoli? Sheet pan and parchment for our pumpkin. Baby pumpkin. We got another baby pumpkin though. It's just not as baby as the other one. This one's teen pumpkin. Also on the stove here, we're gonna get some bacon going. Local butcher shop sells ends and pieces. Sometimes you can find them in supermarkets. Sometimes you can't. But typically they're a little bit cheaper and they're just chunks of bacon that's not a normal size. So it's perfect for things like this, where we're just going to render that bacon down into little crispy bits. You crispy bit. Start off with a relatively high flame to get it up to heat, and then we'll turn it way down. We don't want to be cooking it too hot. We just want to get it started. So the other part to tonight's dinner, the more Halloween part to it, is I'm going to throw the pumpkin in the oven. I'm going to try and make this pizza look a little bit more skull-like. Mostly using the toppings. I'm not planning on doing an odd shape to the actual pie itself. Alright, starting to hear a sizzle here. So we're down to a low temp now. And they make this profitable by putting just straight up pieces of lard in with this. Yeah, most canned pumpkin, actually not pumpkin, so to say, but rather another squash type. Yeah, and the smaller ones, and actually the ones that most people are like, think are like disgusting or hideous, are probably less likely to buy for actually food. Farmers will praise as being the sweeter ones. Like, I don't know the proper term for it, but the like warts and stuff you get on the outside of squash is supposed to be a symbol of higher sugar content. So they're ugly, but they're better. I don't know if that scientifically tracks or if that's just like farmer's tale, but so you don't want one of these, you want one of those small little like ugly turban pumpkins. I don't know if I'm going to do a pumpkin pie this year. I do have one pumpkin recipe that I want to do, and I wanted to do it before Halloween, but I don't think it's... I think the calendar's already full between now and then. We'll see. It's almost like bacon hash. Pre-made bacon hash ready to go. But anyways, all of this is feeling like the pieces of pork. We're all feeling like they had been like smeared in lard, like. It's one of those, are they actually adding lard to this to weigh it down at a cheaper price point? Or is it actually is it actually just lard from the pig? And it's to the point that I'm suspicious of it. Nice, head of broccoli. Hi, Buns. Yay, now we have a mod here to help out Head of Broccoli. So that her... There. Apologize, don't remember. Don't get auto-modded. Melting bacon and roasting chunks of pumpkin that I already chopped up. Buns. I killed a baby pumpkin for tonight's dinner. I've done my hunting. I'm doing a little better now, but I've been in bummer mode for the last 2-3 days now. Since Tuesday. Tuesday, I couldn't get anything done. Ended up falling asleep. Thursday, got some stuff done. Still ended up falling asleep. I wasn't really prepared for stream on Wednesday. I'm not prepared for stream tonight. We're here, though. Inching closer programming for the bot. Although, I've said, all of this programming I'm doing, it's almost entirely for my own benefit because it's mostly just giving me more control over what I'm using and less actually, other than maybe making things more functional once again. Doesn't seem like it's doing much right now. But it is rendering. It is getting wetter looking. There is more fat rendering there. We'll maybe inch it up a little bit higher heat. Landlord finally had guys come around and handle around the yard and killed half of the stuff that I had still living here. So that's always fun too. That they are head of blocky. And the pumpkins are roasting. Pumpkin bits are roasting. There we go. Now we get some sizzle going. There, it's obvious that it's cooking now. You're not allowed to, Buns. Not allowed to ask questions in chat. I forbid it. Wrong person for that question. Well, with all the appointments you talk about having all the time, I sort of feel like that's one you maybe should ask them. Like, I've told you many times I'm not a fucking doctor. Oh, I forgot I also need to be doing this. I've got some beef stock. I'm going to be reducing it down for some of our puree. Welcome back, Raw Dot. Hey, they can see me. That solves that. Buns is now quit as a mod. Which sort of solves the problem because she has got one hell of a parasocial relationship. Nice head of broccoli. I'm actually gonna be. I've got a whole chicken in the fridge. I did all my shopping today for today and Sunday, and so I'm gonna be breaking down whole chicken for the pot pie. I don't know how to do that right now. There it is. We got bacon bits. I bought some bits and ends of bacon. I'm rendering them down for putting in on top of the pizza. We've also got chunks of pineapple, I keep trying to call it pineapple. Or I do keep calling it pineapple. We got chunks of fresh pumpkin roasting in the oven. Some of that I'm going to puree up with the beef stock. And beef stock. I'm reducing this down in the other burner. I've got blue cheese, bacon, along with the mozzarella and the pumpkin, and I'm sort of thinking I'm going to try and make sort of like a skeleton face on the pie. Make it a little Halloween-y.
this. Trying to figure out what I want to do with the dough here. I want to get it out so it comes up to room temp a little bit. And I do want to try and ball these a little bit. Maybe bowl is the wrong plan here. Maybe I just should have gone straight to cornmeal. We'll let those sit over there and come up a little bit to room temp, so a little bit closer and easier to handle. Pâte à choux is a toughie. I've had struggles with pâte à choux myself, especially on stream. It's one that I think is really finicky to humidity. I mean, you're cooking a fair amount of moisture, but getting that moisture right to begin with, and then having everything ready and everything prepared and the right, like, one of the things I don't have is I don't have a proper, like, tip that's large enough to handle, like, that type of a dough. emulsions can be tricky. It's almost entirely a joke, but I've been told more than once that it's a confidence thing when you're making an emulsion, that it's going to work. You're going to do this. Did it just never, like, did it never come together to begin with, or did it break after working with it for a long time? Because you have to sort of make the emulsion early, where it's easiest and quickest to be able to make the emulsion, and then add more oil into it once you had the emulsion set. I'm taking guesses here off of what you're saying, and I really have no clue what the actual... This bacon's starting to look lovely, though. It's starting to get a little foamy in here. But that bacon be looking yummy. It never thickened. Yeah. My thoughts is you probably never got that proper emulsion to work right off at the beginning, which can be a trouble when you're first learning to do. I don't know your experience level either. Last time I made cream puffs, they turned out okay. I wish they had gotten a bit more rise out of them. They still poofed up nicely and had nice pockets in them, but I wanted more. Pan will work nicely for this. Put you over this. You and this. We're gonna drain ourselves some bacon. That's our pumpkin. Pumpkin. That doesn't look very pumpkin-y, does it, chat? It looks sort of light for a pumpkin. If you didn't see me carve up the pumpkin to begin stream, you might question if that was like maybe butternut or something. Okay, yeah. We got some nice color on some of the underside of the, especially around the edges. I think that's just about right for what I want for something to put on top of the pizza that's going to get a little more cooked to it, / blend up. It sounds like you made yourself a successful curd. If you've heard of lime curd or lemon curd, or it's a liquid that's thickened by the cooking of the eggs. You're essentially scrambling eggs, but you're doing it fine enough that it's smooth. It's a little like ice cream where you're freezing it without the ice crystals. You're making scrambled eggs without the scrambled bits of egg. I do apologize for the lag, chat. I can't fix my ISP. Well, I can and would like to, but that's not in immediate plans. So we're going to take about half of this pumpkin and put it into the blender. Then we're going to take this beef stock that I've been reducing down, add that in there with this as well. We'll give that a spin in the blender with a mute to chat. And that didn't mute anything or turn anything, no wonder I'm changing bots. It's too little. It's not enough for my little blender, so I have to switch tools here. Probably should have started with this one to begin with. If only it was a U instead of an... No. Alright, so this is going to go on top of this. I am going to mute chat once again. We're going to plug this into this other blender spot in the corner over there. And we're going to give this a spin. So I got that blended now. And OBS decided to disconnect and reconnect again. If you refresh, it'll probably be a little bit closer to real time. So we got this loveliness. We're going to allow this to cool down. But that is our puree for on top of the actual pizzas itself. Debating whether I want to strain this or not, considering we got chunks of pineapple or pumpkin all over it. Most likely, yeah. Probably just a different language. Bacon fat. I'm turning the oven up now for making our pizzas. All the way up. What else do we need for this? We've got let's get our Costco mozzarella cheese out here. I guess I'm sponsored by Costco this month since I'm talking about Costco all the time. Even though they haven't paid me a dime, I actually paid them money this month. Nice head of broccoli.
No easy peel? What is this? It still doesn't want to open. I cut it too close. Didn't want to cut the actual cheese. I didn't want to cut the cheese, chat. It's forcing me to cut the cheese. Usually they're a little bit easier, though. I mean, this is the first time I've tried this brand. This one's larger than the other ones. Just by itself. Like, the actual log itself is a bigger log. I think it's about the same length. I just think it's got more girth. Can I fix this? Can I change that? Can I do that in the middle of stream? Okay. Nice! All the people that sat there and did all the cooking for Emerald and did all the actual like prep work for Emerald and all of them. Start stretching this out a bit.
This particular dough doesn't like the stretch as much as most of the other ones I've worked with. For some reason. Not sure why. So I am going to do a couple extra stages of stretching on this dough, I think. I think we all get opinions of them from talking to people and hearing to people, like, you know, I could also tell you stories of friends who worked for them and had different opinions. The Florence, not a problem. But really, I think any of them that, in that era, anyone that was on food TV, for the most part, was selling a restaurant industry, selling, like, Two Hot Tamales were great, but they're they run some great restaurants in LA too, but they were on TV because they were running those restaurants. Emerald was there because he was running his New Orleans empire. I'm just gonna let that go, broccoli. Yeah, I think a lot of it dials down to, you know, experience. It's one-time experiences with a lot of this, which, yeah. Actually got me sitting here wondering, what is the like, one of the things that made restaurants so memorable and such a thing that I think is partly being hurt by the internet is the whole, you know, it's an experience. And I mean that with food very much so. Like, your most memorable meals typically are not about the meals, but rather the events around the meal. It was someone's anniversary. It was someone, you know, it was the first date. It was, you know, something along that line. And yeah, in a generation where, you know, most of this stuff, they'll just rather look it up online, and that includes myself, or would, you know, or they're going to travel across the world for the experience. Going across town is sort of lame mentality. And I'm sort of sitting here wondering, how are restaurants going to, beyond the constant need to eat, how are restaurants still going to survive in that mentality? He's like all the rest of them. He's a TV personality. What I think the part that's missing here when I say they're running a restaurant industry is the amount of capital you need to own restaurants. Like, most restaurateurs do not own their restaurant. They're working for the bank, they're working for their investors. And so when I say they're supporting that industry, like, yeah, they own their restaurants, they have a percentage in them, but they don't own their restaurants. And in many cases, they're tied into deals where they have to do promotional stuff in order to promote the company. And then you get into situations where they're tied into the debt off of that, and they're forced to do things for their marketing. You hear about some entertainers. I'm forgetting his name right now, but there's rumors about one of the famous singers that's made several big-time hits signing with the casinos because he's in debt with the casinos. It's the exact same thing, but they're in debt for owning their restaurant. But the banks need their money, and so they still promote them as being huge stars. It's sort of like this catch-22. And they have to keep doing it. Like, it's like a hamster wheel. You can't get off. You gotta keep going. Or a Ponzi scheme. Okay. I think we're maybe there. We can start stretching out our first one here. That one tore on me now. Alright, so we got our pumpkin layer here. We're going to do our chunks of pumpkin first. That way I can sort of spread these out. These aren't really part of the face I was planning so much. Yup. Spanish rice. Nice one, head of broccoli. Next we got bacon. And then we got blue cheese. As our teeth and eyes. And let's see, we can maybe throw a few more bits of bacon. Give the skull a beard. At least a chin beard. Alright, so hopefully that'll slide. Yeah. Oven is up to temp. Let's get rid of the excess. Let's get rid of the excess cornmeal in front of it so I don't just brush that and bake it in my oven. Or at least minimize the amount I'm doing of that. And in the oven it goes. I'm astonished. That that piece that I stood up in the center, it stood up still when I got it into the oven. That I thought for sure that was gonna fall one way or the other. Might actually have a 3D nose ridge. All right. Let's see here. Let's get you following me again, camera. Now the question is, do I go pumpkin for the second one? I think I got enough puree there for a second one. I think the second one isn't going to be a skull. I think it's going to be a little bit more blue cheese and bacony. Oops, we got to set a timer here too. Let's give it a full 10. I haven't tried this blue cheese before. It looked like it had some nice color to it for blue cheese. I was looking at this one house for sale the other day. It's like, it's way out at like ridiculous money. But it was like fisherman's paradise. Like personal lake, personal dock, stocked lake, like I got the jalapenos out because I was thinking of using those for eyeballs, but I don't think that they're really gonna work for that. I stuck with the blue cheese. Yeah, there's so many types of blue cheese, and well, I haven't even, tried all of the, like, big name blue cheeses, and this is, like, no name local, well, not local, but, like, American cheese, blue cheese. So it's not like it's, like, it may be a quality product, but it's not, like, something with some, heritage of foodies know this cheese and you gotta know it. But I come across that problem all the time when it comes to wine. Like, I like wine, but there is no way I could keep track of the wines that are out there. There's just, like, I would need spreadsheets. And, like, keeping in math. Because, like, they keep changing hands. They keep changing their varietals. And the grapes, once you get to know wine and know grapes, like you go to a couple of vineyards, you start learning. You look at their different vintages and they'll have grapes from the same places in different years and they'll taste completely differently. I am striking 100 tonight, chat. I am doing wonderful tonight. I would say my choice for just a straight blue cheese, like it's going to be on a cheese board, blue cheese, is probably going to be St. Auger. But that might be... I'm doing amazing, like that phrase right there with it, like I'm doing everything right tonight. Going back to blue cheese, St. Auger is a blue cheese. Like, you get like cavities, you get crystals, you get like straight up pieces of mold going on in it. And it's it can be overpowering for some people, and I can imagine some people not liking it. I love how smooth it is.
other than the like chunks of mold in it. Alternatively, Stilton's great. As is Maytag blue cheese. Maytag's like the American classic from what I remember. Now I'm looking up Maytag blue cheese. Yes, thank you. This is actually an American cheese. Okay. That's interesting, head of broccoli. Like, I've toyed in the past with certain different vineyards and getting subscription plans with them, and just... you eventually either get tired of it or bored, or, you know, you want to move on to something else. Like, there's a lot of vineyards here in Sonoma that I got a lot of respect for that I just barely visit anymore just because want something new, I guess? I don't know. Can't wait to get the new scramble out here. I've been toying with it off stream. Broke it last night and then fixed it again this morning. It doesn't show all of them, but it does. I do have it querying Wikipedia for definitions now. So the new version of the scramble that is hopefully going to be here in a week or two, it'll have like explanations about all the winning answers, which already has been interesting. Some of them have been hilarious because they're completely like off in left field descriptions, but some of them have been very interesting and very informative, and so I think it's a great addition. One minute on that first pizza.
I'm not announcing it or making it. I don't have a like command yet for so people can look it up. But I am tracking, not now, but once the new scramble comes in place, I'll be tracking wins too. So I'll be able to tell how many times. Oh, his nose. Our skull face didn't survive. The beard did. I wanted a skull. I wanted a skull pizza. Nah, we're just not gonna do a skull. I'm throwing in the towel on that. Tonight has been not my greatest evening. I am going to say that I think this might be a success overall, though. Like, making the skull didn't necessarily work out. But the pumpkin? I think the pumpkin worked. I mean, obviously I gotta give this a try first, but I think that looks like a successful small pie. Oh, that's part of the fun, Hunter Broccoli. For me. Like, I didn't make a skull, I made a successful pizza. I'm okay with that. It's not as good for, Twitch and views and all that, but really, I'm just making dinner. And we're going to put that on top so it's a little more noticeable. But I appreciate the words of encouragement, Head Broccoli. Okay, on with our pumpkin. It's also a different level of mess up head of broccoli. Like, in a restaurant, you're doing something over and over and over and over and over. And so, you know, just cutting something slightly off can mess up the other 5. And as a home cook, you don't really care. And it doesn't matter. But it's a mess up in the restaurant. So we'll add some blue cheese over the top of that. Alright, second pie going in the oven. A lot of restaurant dishes are also designed so that you can save them in that fashion. Like, never trust a dessert with extra whipped cream on it. Chat. Never trust a dessert with extra whipped cream on it. Yeah, YouTube is happy with stream. And this one's been happy for a while now. I'm not sure what was causing issues earlier. They seem to have worked themselves out, though, as far as the internet's concerned. So if you're still with the delay, you might want to try giving the page a refresh. It might be a little more up to date. While that's in the oven, I'm going to wrap up the rest of this mozzarella. Minus the brine. Oh, a stumper. They are mildly rough tonight. They're not... We haven't seen lacto-fermented or hydrogenated or... They could be worse. Bacon. Trying to think what that could be. I don't get to cheat yet. I get to cheat with the new scramble. New scramble, I can look up the global variables and see what it is. Spanish. I'm gonna chop up her skull. It didn't turn out into much of a skull, unfortunately. It is chopping nicely, though. Even the floppy side piece got some structure to it there. That is one thing that I learned, and I don't think people, like... I say this because I went to a dinner at a restaurant in Napa with a bunch of CIA grads that I went with that served pizza. They served us a pizza that was very much raw in the center as far as the dough. It was not properly cooked. The restaurant actually got into a whole bunch of legal trouble for this exact thing a couple years later. But everyone at that counter was like perfectly fine with that pizza, and I'm like, this is disgusting. And yeah, you need the crust needs to be cooked in the center. You need to be able to hold, like... I learned that making pizza, like, I certainly have served my fair share of those type of pizzas before I learned how to make a proper pizza too. Don't go, like, getting that center cooked on a pizza is like, that I did many years ago. Many years ago. Veronic? If only it was the new scrambles and the definition was there right in chat. Though I half wondered if it was like an advertisement or something. Like, I had one definition recently where it like gave me a description of something in a Marvel movie. Like, it was a food term, and it was giving me the description of something in the Marvel film. Ads. No. Ads. That was almost perfect for the pizza, though. I could just eat bacon tonight. Very light flavor on that bacon. Very light flavor. Most difficult recipes to sort of follow? Old cookbooks. Like Escoffier's, or ones of Escoffier's era. Because they used recipes that were more descriptions of a recipe than an actual recipe. And often required dozens of sub-recipes in order to make, like, it would give you like a paragraph description of a recipe, and then you'd have to decipher that description, then look up all the different sub-recipes in order to figure out how to make it. But then you get into the, are you just making what's in the paragraph, or are you following what a Escoffier would have made? You know? So does pumpkin pizza, chat? I've got bacon stuck in my teeth now. Welcome back, Crawled Out. Just pulled this out. Going back to the food in the Marvel movie, whatever, I didn't pay attention to what it was. Whatever it was in the Marvel world had nothing to do with food, while it was a food word. That's what made me like, is this an ad? Like, are they putting this in here as a, mention movies thing? Now this one's cooked, but this one is so paper thin on bottom. Like, that's window pane test thin. I'm going to allow that one to set up for another minute before I cut into that. Let's get some photos, though. So we got a couple photos to the Discord in a little bit. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. That one needs a moment even still. I'm gonna try a piece of this though. Chat knows what that's like. You can see the bacon that. That is a flavor profile I was not expecting, but it is delicious. Like, I had almost like completely forgotten the beef stock in with the pumpkin on the bottom. Oh, that came through so huge on this. It's delicious. And blue cheese just rounds it out too. Wow, that's... Chat, I like pumpkin on pizza. Who would have thought? But I do think that wraps things up for this lovely stream. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight, chat. I know I was a bit of a curmudgeon. Yeah. I'm a little sad the skull didn't turn out, but this pizza is amazing, chat. You need to make pumpkin pizza. I'm telling you, make pumpkin pizza. Try it. Try it. Gonna be back here on Sunday. I don't know, maybe we might have a Sunday morning stream. Nah. I don't know. Should I do a Sunday morning stream, chat? Definitely gonna have a Sunday evening stream, chat. So we're definitely doing mummified chicken pot pie from scratch with a raw chicken on Sunday. Have to see how things turn out. Maybe we'll do Monday morning. Monday morning makes a little more sense because I have the Monday evening, so it would be Sunday, Monday evening. But I'm thinking of making some Scream donuts. You know, just some basic glazed donuts, but make them like the Scream mask. That seems to be a trend lately. I feel like I have to follow that trend. So we might see a morning stream out of me either Sunday or Monday. Gonna be back here for chicken pot pie on Sunday evening. And we got the ingredient challenge kicking around for next Wednesday, where I might have to cook with an MRE. I ordered it already. It's got so much of a lead I had to order it. It's supposed to get here on Tuesday. But y'all are amazing for hanging out with me. I hope you've had an amazing week. I hope you have a great weekend. Do something fun. Go out and do something, peoples. Have a great night, everyone. Good night.